Hey guys, welcome to Village Church Kids Online. I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really hope that you loved today's story and you really enjoyed today's activity. And guess what guys, we've got a special guest all the way from Inverness, the one and only Penny, who's going to come and help us do today's activity. So make sure you're comfortable, maybe grab a snack to listen to the story, and make sure to get somebody who can maybe help you out with doing our activity, and we're going to get started. So today's story is all about how we look after and care for other people, and we're going to be looking at a story called The Good Samaritan. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's an amazing story about what it really means to look out for each other. We're having a little think about that as we follow Jesus with our whole life. How do we love and care for other people? Because ultimately, that's how Jesus lived his life. Jesus shared this story with his friends, maybe a little bit like I'm sharing with you today, about what it means to look out for and love other people well. So get comfy and we'll get started. The Good Samaritan. A teacher once came and asked Jesus a question. What is the right way to live? Jesus asked him a question. You are a teacher, what do the old stories and the laws say? Love God most of all and love others as you love yourself, answered the man. You are right, said Jesus, you know what to do. But who are these others? Asked the man. Jesus told a story. Once there was a man who went on a journey. On the way, robbers attacked him. They took everything he had and beat him up. They left him lying in the road. A priest from the temple came along. He saw the man, but hurried on by the other side of the road. A helper from the temple came along. He came and looked at the man, then he hurried by. A Samaritan came along. Samaritans are no good, said someone listening. They don't like us, and we don't like them. Jesus went on with the story. The Samaritan saw the man. He stopped. He bandaged the man's cuts. Then he lifted the man onto his donkey and took him to an inn. He gave the innkeeper some money. Take care of him till I come back, he said. If you need to spend more, I'll pay you extra. Then Jesus asked the teacher a question. Who showed the right way to love others? The one who was kind, answered the teacher. Jesus said, you go then and do the same. This is a really special story because unlike maybe what we thought they would do, the temple person and the helper of the temple, we would have thought they would maybe go and help the person, but they didn't. Instead, the person who helped the poor man who'd been beaten up was somebody they didn't expect to help. That person wasn't popular. They weren't people who people even liked. In fact, it was the opposite. Jesus is making the point here that actually God is more concerned with who we are on the inside, our attitudes to other people, and how we show that love to others. In this story, it was the Samaritan, the person who wasn't popular and liked by other people, who did the right thing, which tells me something about how God views those types of people. God loves everybody exactly the same, whether I think they're nice or not, and whether they're popular or not. So I'm really challenged by today's story for two reasons. One, I'm challenged to make sure that I view everybody the same, whether other people think they're popular or nice or not. We are called to love other people equally. And the other thing is this. The Samaritan gave his time, his effort, his money to make sure the guy who'd been beaten up and had all his things taken from him was okay. I wonder who we might be able to make some time for this week. Somebody who's maybe having a hard time. How could we be kind to them? Maybe we could draw them a picture. Maybe we could tell them that we care about them. Maybe we could give them something that they maybe need. Maybe we can look out for them in a different way. So that was the story today, and we're about to get started into today's activities. I'm going to hand over to Penny, who's going to tell us what we need to do and what we're going to need to get on with that.
Today we're going to make a first aid bag like this one to help us to remember the story about the Good Samaritan who stopped to help an injured man that he saw at the side of the road. So, what you'll need So I want you to take your box, your empty box, and I want you to start cutting down the sides, each side like this, all the way down to the bottom. right down on the corner as much as you can, and then you do that on all of the edges right down to the bottom, and again right down to the bottom and right down to the bottom. So working on this side, not the picture side, you then want to take your ruler and on the wide sides I want you to mark off 7 centimeters from the base. If you found, that's just another thing, is if you found that when the box fell open, the side bits came off the base, just stick them back on again. Just stick them back on with some sellotape so they're firmly on. So measure off your 7 centimeters up and put a mark, and then you draw a line at that 7 centimeters there, like that. Do the same on the other side, 7 centimeters up, draw a line like that. I'm going to use a bowl as a template. So you slide the box from the top down, there's your flap there, slide it down from the top to where it just touches that line, and then just draw around it like that, so you've got a semicircle. And then do that on the other side. Next, go to the slimmer flaps, slimmer sides rather, and this time measure off up to 14 centimeters up. So 14 centimeters up is there, put a mark and draw a line across at 14 centimeters. And do the same on the other side, and then go back to the first one again, and where you've drawn that 14 centimeter line, find the middle of the width of this. So mine's about 6 centimeters wide, so about half of that is about 3 centimeters, so put a dot there, and then take your ruler and draw right the way up to the top like that, including the flap. And when you've done that, take your ruler again and put it at the top point there and angle it so that it comes down to that line that you drew across, and draw that in so it's going to make a triangle. So you do that side and then that side like that. Do the same on the other side. So the next thing is on that side there again, where you've got your triangle, where you've got that line at the 14 centimeters, measure it again and measure another 7 centimeters and make a mark and draw a line across. So now you do that on the other side, you measure 7 centimeters up and you draw a line across like that. So now you've got your 14 centimeters and another 7 centimeters there. So the next thing you do is you start to cut out. So with your scissors, you would start to cut out very carefully, because you want to follow this line of the curve. You start to cut it all the way around and you take that piece out, and the same on the other side. And then where your triangle is, you want to cut down from the top, following that outside line down to the end there, and the same on the other side, and do it on this side as well. And then what you'll end up with is something like this. So where you drew the top line, just fold the top piece down backwards and stick it down like that. So you've got the top of the triangle taken off, and then you just do the same on the other side like that. And now we're ready to reassemble the box. So turn it over like that, and you want to draw up the sides, all the sides like that. It's a little bit tricky at this stage, and then you want to start fastening the whole thing together with your sellotape And the next stage is to make your handle. So you take a piece of the card that you cut out before from the curve, like that, and you draw with your ruler, mark off first of all at 2 centimetres and then at 4 centimetres, and draw a line down like that and cut it out, really cut this piece out there, so you end up with a piece like that. And then you want to fold down that centre line, fold it in 2, so you end up with a piece like that, and then put some tape down it like I have done there, and that's going to be your handle. So then take the box and you tuck this underneath a little bit, and you stick some tape over there, make it firm, and some more tape on there. So now you have your first aid bag, and all you need to do now is you can decorate it like this one, and you can use your leftover card, bits of card, to cut out various things, like you can cut out your shapes for a cross, first aid cross sign that you can put on the front of your bag, and then you can use the rest of the card, or some more card if you've got, to make some things to go in the bag. So I've made a little cardboard Q-tip, and I've put some bits of cotton wool on the ends there. I made a little water bottle like that, because he might need, your injured man might need a drink. And I've made him a bandage out of 2 strips of paper stuck together, and I've made a little plaster there, and I thought he might need a Twix bar because he's probably a little bit hungry, so I've made a wee one there, and I've made a thermometer that would go across the top of his forehead to check his temperature, like that. And I have also made a stethoscope like this that you can use to hear the sound of his heart. You could also add to the bag a few real things like a cotton wool ball, maybe a tissue, maybe a real plaster there. And if he's going to have a drink, then he probably needs to have a little cup as well. But there you have your bag, your first aid bag for the Good Samaritan who's going to go and help anybody who needs help. So have fun making it. And back to Bridget.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Village Kids Online. It's been great to be part of this today, and I hope you've enjoyed the story and have got on well with the activity. Wasn't that activity so much fun? If you got involved today, we'd love to see how you got on. Please send us some pictures in, whether that's in social media, or send them over to us at Village Church, and we'd love to see them. And if you feel comfortable, we'd love to be able to share them online so we can see each other's works and what we got on with. We hope you've enjoyed today, and if you've got any questions or want to know more, please get in touch. But until next time, we hope you have an amazing day. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.